City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city. I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoned, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. What people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine.
Yo, what it do, beef stew, what it do, beef stew, what it do. All right, let's get it twisted. Family, welcome to the showgram. I am back in full effect in my little humble Adobe, my humble abode. I am back in the studio. It is time, y'all, for a little bit of bass and a little bit of drums to heal your soul. Now, wait, I'm trying to control my output here, and it is not working. Let me do this again. Set that. Roll that back. There we go. Now that should be better. All right, gang. Let's see what is popping. Um, we are going to dive in and yeah, let's have a Q and A today. So Parker asked this question. He says, "Hey, looking for a monitor. What is the size of your monitor? What model? And do I have links for them?" Why, yes, I do. I believe they're on my kit. Let me fix this because this is driving me crazy. I want that to be. Oh wait, come back, Parker. I want that to be about yo wide and about yo big. All right, there we go. So yes, I do. They are both LGs. I do not use Samsung's Paul. LG for the win. So yeah. Oh, he said that. Never mind. Paul's correct. Paul is correct. I'm using a LG dual up for one side and a LG 32-inch for the other side. So that's a good question for the old first thing to start with the old Q&A process. Let's try something real quick. Let's go. And then if I press on this guy and I want this guy, oh yeah, it works. Isn't that special? All right. So, why continuity camera? You've been bugging me all day, and then finally it's your time to shine. There we go. All right. So that is, come on, continuity camera, wake up. There you go. That's this one. This is the 32-inch. And then this one is what's known as the dual up. Come on. Come on, Mary. This is what's known as the dual up. This one is weird. It's a 2880 by 2160. It's a very odd shape, but I love it because it allows me to rock some really massive like editing situations when I'm editing. And yeah, okay, so note to self, continuity camera sucks. Let me go back to doing it how I normally do it, like a boss. Continuity camera, you are not ready for government work. Let's try it. Let's try this again. Uh, let's see. Does this one work? And then turn it on. No. See, it's still just whack. I have to set my thing up to just ignore continuity camera because it doesn't work as directed. So we'll go to camo because camo always works, and then I'll show you. So let me take this out of airplane mode, and then we'll be good to go. Anyway, so yes, Parker, that is the answer to the question. And I'll show you once I get this thing all set it up. All right, let's see. Let's see. What's up? Todd's in the building. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you, brother, for throwing that in there. Everybody is having a fantastic days. We are in the building. Yeah, like I think it's just acting up because it is fighting against camo and some of the other stuff that I have installed in the system. So it does work. Don't let me not get you guys scared that continuity camera doesn't work. It does work, but my machine is also running a backup and doing a bunch of other crazy stuff at the same time. It's a Mac Studio now, so it can do that. But yeah, you can probably hear the RAID going to town as is running a backup. Hope you can help a brother out. Looking to bring back a live stream, and I want to have a topic panel down one side of my screen. Was the easiest, best way of going that. Man, we're going to build that sucker right now. Okay, I have to admit something that might surprise you. This is going to sound crazy, but just understand. So, being a club DJ, club promoter, used to do parties basically every weekend. Here in Hawaii, of course, you know, we have some pretty top competitors. I am actually friends, not adjacent friends. I like legitimately know both BJ Penn and Max Holloway. Um, and something I would tell them directly too. When K1, before straight MMA started, when K1 started in Hawaii, I used to be one of the art guys for K1. So I used to do a lot of their magazines, their programs, and things like that. And I even used to promote fights here. We did a China versus USA fight here, which was really cool. It was an exhibition, and even had my homie Kung Lee and Jung Sunong Fairtex, like Alex Fairtex, Alec Gong, like some of the original guys that started, you know, some of the Muay Thai stuff. There was all my friends back in the day. But as a club promoter, I absolutely freaking hated MMA nights after that became a thing when it became super popular because it went less about the sport and more about people just wanting to have pugilistic tendencies. So why does that matter? I kind of like completely just ignored the stuff from that point on, other than my friends. I don't really pay attention to the sport because it was always a pain in the ass as a promoter because we always got shut down on the nights of MMA fights because the idiots would go watch the fight and then come in and want to start fights. And so it was always a drama. So yeah, just that is my random S story about MMA. And it's not that it's a bad sport, but like I just don't know anything about it anymore. From like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I just turned it off. I was like, I don't want to know anything. I'm just gonna go do what I do best. So I still can build you what you need to build, but I just had to give you that explanation. Before I build this live for you, I'm gonna show you this monitor situation because I got this camera situation fixed. Okay, so we turn on the camo camera, and now we got it. That is an LG 32-inch Big Daddy. I am currently unnecessarily rocking it in a 1920 by 1080 because when I do the Ecamm demo, people like Glenn to complain that they can't see rather than them zooming their shit. I have to zoom mine. Then on this guy, this is my 32-inch dual up, which I absolutely love because I can basically run 4 programs at the same time in this bad boy. It's a lot of space, so I can go something like that, and then still put in like my Twitter feed and my IG feed right here on the side. So I just love this guy because it has a lot. You'll notice I'm actually running it sideways. There's the LG right there. So I am running it sideways. It does rotate and it goes up and down and it does all the business. And this whole thing is running from this Mac Studio. Ignore that glass of whiskey with a toothbrush in it and the Cow Digit Thunderbolt 4 Hubei. So that's how it goes. All right. So now let's go real quick and build a thing for MMA Sucker. Okay, so what MMA Sucker is talking about basically pardon the interruption. Okay, like you guys know that show, you might remember that show. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over here and let's see if I got my browser thing set up correctly. It is not, but let's make it happen. Let's set it Google Chrome, zoom to app window. Gangster. I don't know where this extra square is coming from, but it might be because my monitor is just weird, right? Having a weird shaped monitor might cause that to happen. Okay, so I know what I'm gonna do. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go change this to a blank screen and I'm gonna use this kind of screen share because then I have more control. So let me jump over here, go to Google Chrome now, and then still doesn't work. That's just odd. Let's go to custom and then I can arrange it accordingly. Gangster. Now I can zoom it. And then it'll make sense. Yeah, this odd monitor size, Ecamm don't know what to do with that. All right, anyway. So let's put this here and then embiggen Chrome a little wider. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to talk to the boys and be like, hey, I'm going to need you to make a scene that rocks my odd-shaped monitor like a boss. Let me try something else real quick. I'm going to go into Ecamm preferences, go to screen sharing, show everything, nope. Include icons, nope. Include desktop picture, nope. I got to keep that. No margin. Mouse cursor, I'm going to put it slightly bigger. Show mouse click. All right, there we go. All right, that should help. Anyway, just ignore the ugliness. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to overlays.uno. What? overlays.uno. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with Pam. Oh, God. Don't be like that. All right. So we want to go to try overlays. Don't have the other machine set up. Paul, that machine has been relocated to the box. So that explains your text message. Remember that the other machine is in the box right now, and so I have to make a whole new setup. But since you want to be like that about it, Paul Duncan, let me get this notebook out real quick and then pull you guys up on the notebook. Let's see. Log it in. Go here. Discord. Good question. I mean, good thought, Paul. Good thought. We're doing all of the tricks today. So what I'm talking about to Paul just sent me a text message saying that everybody's lonely in the Discord. Well, that kind of makes sense, with the exception of the fact that my Mac Mini has become my Mac Mini in a box. So my Discord people were still in the backpack. So I had to pull them out. Drop Squad, you're able to hang out in the Discord. And if you have questions or whatever, I can hear you on this laptop here. And I might even set you up later with a little NDI screen share so that I can bring you back over here. Because now this is easier, right? Just going to my Mac Studio, getting rid of my Mini, it just makes things a little bit doper. But anyway, let's get back to doing what we're doing. So stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. Get it, Obs? Okay. MMA Sucker, let's go. Here you go. Here are your options. You can do this particular stream pack, this particular stream pack. Let's see. This one also works. This little simple one right here, stream pack talking points works. Whoa, they done updated some Why, but your boy went on vacation and overlays.uno done came through. All right, I'm going to use this new one right here just because we never did it. It says Sammy Streamer. That don't look like freaking Sammy. Which one you guys like better, Discord? The one with Sammy Streamer in it or the one with Kate Tanaka right above it? Oh, don't talk all at once, damn it. Oh, so y'all asked to be over here, and then now we get y'all here, and y'all ain't got shit to say. Just check in, make sure I'm not muted. Maybe I'm muted. Maybe that's why they can't hear me. Wait. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. All right. Well, that explains a lot. Discord can't hear me. MacBook Air speakers. Luis, why are you laughing? You can hear me now?
Go with Sammy. It looks like you.
Oh, there you go. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. That does not look like Sam. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to turn you guys down because now you loud jerks. All right. So let's pick on the Sammy one. Let's go here. Okay, so again, MMA Sucker, I think Paul probably put the link in the chat for you, but what you're going to want to do is go to overlays.uno and then look down and find one of these overlays. Okay, so this is the basic overlay right here. All we need to do is come over and click where you see this double paper. That's normally the copy icon, and it says copy the output URL. So we're going to copy this URL. Okay, now I'm going to make a brand new scene over here. So let me go in my thing, press new scene. And then, of course, you know, we're Ecamm, so start with blank. And then I'm going to go into this guy real quick. So now you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to press this globe. And the globe is going to be like, okay. Bruh, you got to be real careful how you type that because one mistype and it's a whole different stream. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's do that. And then we're going to go here and go like that. And then press add the widget overlay. Okay, this takes a couple seconds for the internet to internet. And then boom, there it is. It's all there. Let me remove the Ecamm stuff out of the way so you can see. Okay, so this is basically it. Now, let's go and fix this to match what you match. Because, hold on, wait. Let me come in. Because I am not up to date, I'm going to pass, once you watch this closely now, I'm going to pass the controls to this MMA layout to Luis because Luis is up to date. Okay, Luis will show you how dope this is, and he's in Discord. Like, he's not even here. Dude is in freaking Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood. And watch this shit right here, okay? Watch this right here. Let me go back to my other thing. So I'm here. I'm going to copy this second URL, which is right here. Copy this URL. And I'm going to send that over here to... Why am I trying to touch the Discord like it's an iPad? What are you thinking, Doc? Okay. So Luis can handle the talking points part. I'll fix the name because I am not Sammy Streamer. But look, just as I edit this thing here and press enter, it's automatically updated, right? You guys know about the Bad Mofo wallet? It's the one in the bag that says, you know, get it, Pulp Fiction. Okay. All right, boom. So boom, there you go. So super update. The best part about the Sammy Streamer thing is it already had the purple going, but over here in the side, you can see I got the main control window here. I got the live book here. I got the lower third here. Under here, I got talking points. So under talking points, we can put this is true, and this is a true story. This is an actual true story. Wait, I don't know how to spell. Hold on. I still did it wrong. Anyway, let me fix it. This is a legit story. BJ Penn is running for governor in Hawaii. This has nothing to do, I mean, I guess it has to do with MMA, but it's there. But so going down the side here, as I'm just typing in these little guys, this is updating everything, right? So Luis put me live in the Big Island. The hell, I don't live in the Big Island, damn it, I live in Oahu. But see, you can have your producers or your show producers or whatever updating all this on the fly. So I'm gonna leave the rest of this tweaking to Luis, and I'm gonna come back over to the scene where we're at, and you'll see that it's here. So it's updating, right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my camera on. Actually, I'm gonna use my camera, my whole big camera. So I'm gonna go to source and switch it to camera. And then that's a video file. Choose which camera I want, Camlink 4K. Bam. See, it looks just like this. And then so that is super simple as pie, right? Now all I gotta do is grab some text for the bottom and paste that in. But real simply, let me come out of demo mode so you can see what it looks like on the flesh, right? I can do this whole entire setup right here and change the colors. All of that stuff is super easy, but without doing a lot of work, especially for the type of show that you're trying to create, where the info is going to update a lot. If you have an assistant, like all you need your assistant to do is go to this control page, update it for you, and then half an hour before your show, you peep in, run the rundown, game recognized game. So very, very dope question, MMA Sucker. As you can see, it's super simple to do and it's relatively dope, right? So again, as far as all of the rest of those things in the talking points, you just go to the web and you can just change it. Let me do this. And it just updates it on the fly. You know what I'm saying? So as you can just change all these things. And again, you want to tweak the color a little bit. Like say, I want to get, the current one that I'm working on to be like this color and the rest of the ones that's coming up to be like, that's obnoxious. So I'll take this color and go darker. So you can kind of tell which is the highlight and which is the one that we're going up to later. Look, I done tweaked the opacity a little bit so you can make it semi-see-through. If you don't want that, I mean, you don't want it to be like solid blocks where you can't see what's going on. You have some options available to you. So super dope. I really love the fact that you can tweak that. Again, if I just wanted to take this and come down and make it darker and then, just give it a little bit of opacity, you can. So yeah, super simple, super easy to do. Overlays.uno is the place to be. And I have a whole video tutorial on the Ecamm channel where I explain more in detail, but I mean, a chimpanzee can figure this one out. So I really like it. I like it a lot. All right, there you go. That was a good question though. Appreciate that. Coming through with a heater right out the gate. It's not a like button, more of an approval icon. It's Wrench Mob, Rob. So if you're gonna come in with the jokes, it's called Wrench Mob. Thank you. All right, so we covered Parker's question. Parker, I will make sure that I think they're in my Amazon kit, but if they're not, I will go through and double up the funk and see if we can get that, more different. See, I'm telling you, right now, this particular 32-inch monitor can be had at Costco for $199. That's it. 200 bones. Go to Costco, look for 32-inch LG. This is the wrong box. I forget the model number, but it's basically 200 bones. Get 2 of them. Call yourself a day. Oh, there you go. There you go. So yes, it was really funny. First of all, tell me what your real name is because I'm not going to call you MMA sucker. BJ and my homie Lanai. Lanai was my partner in the radio station here in Hawaii. Everyone swears up and down that they look alike. And so I've traveled lots and lots and lots with Lanai, and people will run up to him and start asking him if he's BJ Penn or asking for pictures or whatever. And I find it funny because I don't think they look that much alike, but people are silly. So I'm going to send you a picture of Lanai right now, and then he's going to be laughing if he ever sees this stream. So this is my boy Lanai, and everybody thinks that he looks like BJ Penn. So even there's times where like the three of us are together doing this event at the hotel, and then PJ sitting right next to Lanai, and people will come to Lanai and ask him BJ questions and vice versa. Even though to me they look not exactly the same, but I find it hilarious. But that was always been a running joke around us here in the islands. But yeah, and Max always cruises in my neighborhood. Sammy, thank you for the super chat. I haven't used my super chat buzzer interrupter thing in forever. And I'll tell you why. I don't like it. Not necessarily for me. I don't like it for you guys because I do scroll so hard, mofos try to find me. I think that when I put that there, it will squirrel me a lot more. So I just tend to not put it there. But I do appreciate your support, Sammy. Thank you for busting the super chat cherry this week. Gangster. Thank you, Keely, for popping that in there too. I see Gangster Grandma is moving around. She's out here looking at Fat Bear Week. I think it's still Fat Bear Week. Sammy bought a new Wave DX microphone and love it. Let's see. That's super funny. Wait, I'm preparing a info video to address an Amazon question for an inquiry that I generally write my response to. Just thinking that a video reply with photos, demos, to my response. If I can, I'd rather do video replies than write any given day. I send video replies and emails sometimes because I just think they're better. Yes, you do not need 2 computers. You can do it. Yes, the way Keely says, I just like it this way because I'm Doc and I do my way. Let's see. There you go. Here's a good question. ZVE10, FX30, or A7 IV for streaming, casual photos, thumbnails, and social posts. Truth be told, let's be dead honest. Truth be told, ZVE10 covers that. Me personally, I'm Doc. I'm going to go with the A7 IV because I like full frames. And unlike Diana, I don't bitch about the weight. She's going to kill me. Oh, she's going to kill me. But I think the best middle ground, cover everything, would definitely be the FX30. for what you're asking, the answer to your question is, as it sits today, ZVE10 straight washes everything. However, to future-proof your life and for the additional price, so the ZVE10 is going to be $1,000. By the time you add another $800 to go to the FX30 and get basically twice the camera plus mounting points, better build quality, waterproof. You could take it out and do things when you travel with. It's worth the difference to me. Like, yeah. So I would probably say, unless you're a full frame hardcore like me, FX30 is your life. I'm full frame all day, every day, as much as possible. I am streaming with you from the ZVE10 because I decided to take my full frame with me, and it's still in the bag. I ain't unpacked my bag yet. So ZVE10 can definitely do it. You got jokes. The screen is big. The screen is 32 inches. Wait, you went away? You took the dog out? Okay, at least you paused the video. I was like, who let the dogs out? I'm not going to start singing it. I'm not going to start singing it. Yes, there you go. Yes, I did adjust the opacity in Uno by sliding the opacity slider. It's an industry standard color interface. Maybe I know this because I'm a graphic designer, so I understand the myriad industry standard color interfaces, but it is pretty industry standard. When you click on one of these bad boys and you see this is to slide the color. Here, let me embiggen this. Will this work? No, that won't work. I can't embiggen it here. Yeah, it's not going to embiggen much. Anyway, the one that's inside the rainbow spectrum, that will adjust colors, right? Because that's what that does, right? The one under will adjust hue, or basically tone, go from dark to light, but not to confuse you with the words. And then when you click it again, wrong one. Sorry, let me fix my French. The spectrum one will help you find your color. This little dot right here, as you roll it around, will help you pick your tone, right? I got light, dark, purple, whatever. And then this bottom one right here will adjust your opacity from clear to full, right? So you can tell because, well, you probably can't see this. In the bottom, there's the code, right? And instead of a standard hex code, the last 2 digits is your opacity. And you can also tell because in this box right here, it literally says hex, R, G, B, and A. Anyone care to guess what the A stands for? There you go. So that's how I did it. It's basically CSS. Like if you've ever done CSS, it all makes sense to you. What's the best practice for uploading a transcript to a YouTube video, text or SRT? I personally use the SRT files as pulled out of the script, and I do them in the YouTube backend. So after you're done, go in and then go to click on the subtitles, and it's going to say, here's an auto-generated one. Do you want to upload another? And then you just say yes. And then once you upload the other, delete the auto-generated. That's it. Now, YouTube will absolutely take both, and it will do what it needs to do. But I always use SRT. Don't know why, just how I've always done it. And there you go. There you go. I think you. Keely says the same as me. She always used SRT. I just think the timing and stuff that's in SRT is a little bit better. Big TVs have been working as monitors since about 1994-ish, maybe earlier. Ever since these flat joints came out, boom. Oh, sorry, Sammy. Let me scroll it back. I missed what you said. Where did Sammy chat go? Sammy says, question, is there a way to cancel? Come back. come back. Is there a way to cancel stop continuity cameras? It bugged me so much when I open Ecamm and turns on without asking. Yes, there is, and I completely forgot what it was. I found it once before, and I completely forgot what it was, but let me look it up real quick. Continuity camera. I believe it's in your settings on your Mac side. I think you go on your Mac side and you can turn it on or off. But yeah, I had a situation where a minute ago, because I just updated to the latest beta of Ventura and the latest beta of iOS, when I walked in the office, it just kept going broom, 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 and just it would not stop. And the two phones were like fighting each other. It was kind of driving me a little bit batty. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's see. Yo, Joe, what it do, sir? How you doing? Glad to see you here. Yeah, I think FX30 would be kind of sort of the Amazeballs thing. Yeah, I personally, you know, it's funny. People, this is funny, Kevin. So Kevin's question is: the FX30 good for 40 is a solid choice, even with no EVF. Loving everything of Faust, but lack of EVF makes me think that camera is not made for EVF people. That camera is made for shinobi people. That camera is made for ninjas. It's why it has mount points all over. People in that particular situation, they're going to use it for this. The FX30 is made for video, right? It does have a back screen. And to this day, if you go out and watch the average person take photos with a point and shoot, ain't nobody looking in the EVF. If you look at like the where's this thing over here? The ZV1, they don't even have an EVF, right? Most of your point and shoots don't have an EVF. So yeah, that's old school photography level type thinking, and most people ain't even about that life. So you can use a Ninja, you can get a small HD, some other things, but yeah, the back screen is better. Thank you for that, Jeremy. Appreciate you. And now you will just forever be Germs because I don't call anybody by their actual name. not anybody. So yeah. Pretty much they all do at this point in time. I don't think they've made a TV that can do that since, I don't know, Jesus walked to Nazareth. I know it's been a minute. Super dope questions today, especially on the overlay situation. I think that is yeah, overlay.uno happens to be one of the best things. Come on now. Say it again, Dragon. Say it again. Right? I think that's another thing that goes missed on a lot of the modern cameras. What people don't realize on the Sony, right? On the APS-C camera is actually a 6K camera and not a 4K camera. So if you were taking pictures, if you're shooting video standardly and you're using the highest possible format, you'd be able to pull some pretty decent stills out of that if necessary. I still think there is something to taking stills on purpose though. So it is a nice sort of catch 22 of sort of doing both. But at 120 frames a second, that means your interpolation frames won't be as busted up, so you'll get a better look. Gretchen says she's watching me on a 75-inch TV. Oh my God, that means my nose zit is going to be super huge. Yeah, I like the raw file too. Like I said, there's a reason for shooting it directly on. Now, here's the thing though, for hybrid shooters, it's great for equipment weight wise, but it's actually better in the end to just have two cameras. That's why you'll see like at weddings, you always go to the wedding, right? The photographer will have one with the 24 to 70 on, and the other with the 70 to 200 or 135. If they're not using the 7200 that's set basically at 135, they'll have it with just the 135 for all of the portraits. And that you always see, wedding photographers always with a double strap so they can bang bang because it's easier and you're just getting way more work done that way. I know, like when you're touristing, it's a lot, but I mean, depends on how serious you are about your touristing. You know what I'm saying? I also, like I said, I'm gonna try something. I don't know where we're going next, but I think on the next trip, just to maybe enjoy the trip more, I'm gonna carry this and this and nothing else. It's basically what I'm gonna carry. I'm gonna carry these two things, and I think this is all you need, and you're good to go. Yeah, it's good. It'll be worth the shot just to see like how tweaky I get. I did when we went to Seattle a couple months back with Karen and Bob's, and I didn't bring a computer that trip, and it was kind of weird, but I survived. I did it just off an iPad, and you know, and I had a full camera gear. Like I had all of my Sony stuff, big old backpack that's either I was carrying or Karen was carrying, and yeah, it was just silly. So I just want to try for once, just because this last trip, Luis and I, because we were working, we had gear like galore. So yeah, and Paul, very good suggestion as well. It's in the bag down here somewhere, but I use that as my streaming camera on the trip. I don't remember where the heck I put it, but there it is. This is super dope to take on the road as a camera. This guy might end up living in the mobile kit. This camera is amazing for your stream quality life. As a matter of fact, one of my goals today was to put it back on the ball head and put it back on my overhead mount because I liked it when it was up there. Then somewhere today, this morning, as I was moving everything around in the office, I moved the ball head, which is funny because when I had it in my hand today, I told myself, "Oh, just clip the ball head to the ceiling because that way you'll know where it is when you're ready for it today." And I didn't. And while Katie and Luis and I were streaming the show this morning, I was literally playing with it. Now I don't know what the heck I did with it. But yeah, this camera is quite amazing. And I think the thing that's so great about it is it's really light, it's small, it has great picture quality, and it's easy to clip to the top of a monitor or something of that nature. So I could clip it right here on the mic and have it be like a close-up camera. But I think this thing is dope. You already have heavy RF sensor glass, thinking about crop sensor vlog camera. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That is the thing, Abars. The back part is a situation. No, I just want to try it. I just want to try it for once in my life because I always carry all of the gear and I end up using the majority of it, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's a lot to carry. And, the knees aren't getting any happier lugging all of that mess around. Not knowing what the heck I did with the ball head is going to drive me crazy. I literally just had it. You almost had it. Okay, stop looking for that. Stop tweaking. Stop tweaking. As soon as I stop looking for it, I'll go, oh, look, it's right here. So that's one of those situations. Okay. Uh the real name of this dinky. Oh, it's not dinky. It's not dinky. It's an Insta360 link. This thing is the absolute business. Like, here, I'm going to connect it up because Gretchen is talking spicy. She has the audacity to talk spicy because she's not at home right now. Let me see. That's why I was looking for the ball head so that I could connect it up. But now that Gretchen is talking spicy, I will absolutely connect it up, and then you'll see. Bum bum bum. This thing is so cool. I did as a matter of fact, a couple of the streams I did on the road, this was the master camera. Like the reason why it's so good is it's bringing in like a full on half inch sensor, and I think that's the part that makes it amazing is because it is coming with a half inch sensor, right? That's what gives it its look quality. So any of the streams you watched when we were traveling and the camera was following me around, that was this. So let me put this bad boy someplace. I need a cable. Cable. Move this laptop for a second. Sorry, Discord people. I mean to duck your face for a minute. I'm gonna plug this bad boy in right here. Get it. There it is. And then take this out. Pop in the old Insta360. What I like about it is right out of the gate, Ecamm knows what to do. So action like that. Move this cable out the way. I'm gonna set it like about right here. Give it a little tilt up. And then let's go add another camera. Pick this. Bam. Insta360 link. Look at that. So this cable is fighting. Look, I don't even have it stuck to anything. Watch this. Here's why this camera is dope. Yeah, it just switched to Insta360 audio. Good catch. Good catch. We put it back. There we go. Now we're back to normal. Okay, that's why I like this camera. I actually like this hand better. I can't see because of the mic. There it goes. And now it's a tracking. It's one of my favorite things about this camera. I love the fact that it tracks, and it tracks pretty crazily, right? That alone is worth its weight in gold. That look at the quality. This camera look good. I haven't touched anything yet. I haven't gone into the old eCamera here and tweaked any of the settings. It is literally that gold right out of the Bizox. So, hands down, one of the dopest cameras in the game. Right? Super dope camera. I really, really love it. It doesn't weigh anything. I stick it in my old not anchor. What'd you call this guy? Aperture M7 bag, right? And yeah, just super good. So it lives right in this little bag. Carried it with me everywhere we went, and it pairs nicely with the M twice, right? So I just pop it right up on top of the M twice and let it do the damn thing. And it's thank you, Todd, right? Todd, talk about it, don't be about it. Listen, Todd, listen. Wait, Todd, listen. I have always said this should have had HDMI out some way, shape, or form. Like, here's the funny thing about this particular camera. Those of you guys that know, this is the Osmo Pocket. Here's an Osmo Pocket. This little connector right here is a lightning connector, right? Everybody and their mama knows that you can send HDMI over lightning. So all they would have had to do for this camera is give you the back half of this, and you would connect it with something like this. So in other words, this would be lightning female, and you would go like that. This would be lightning female rather. So this is the one that connects to your phone, right? So that's what this piece is for. Where'd the last phone go? So for those of you who don't remember, you would do something like this, and you had your setup, right? So you got your screen, you can see what you were doing. It actually goes this way. All DJI had to do was make another version of this piece right here that was female, right? So in which case, you would have taken this guy and connected it, and you would have had the HDMI out. And so DJI, they could have did this years ago because the technology already exists inside this little tap system. They just never did it. I don't know why. It's silly. Had they done this years ago, Insta360 never would exist. And you could tell by looking at the core components. Wait, yeah, looking at these core components, they are pretty much identical. The only difference is on the Link now, the lens is much, much bigger. This lens is small, and the overall iris, the big part that you can see because of the sensor, this is way much bigger, so it's a much prettier picture. So DJI screwed up because they already had everything they needed in this device, and if you're using the full MFI Lightning complement, they could have easily turned this adapter, a second adapter. They could have sold a second adapter for $50 just to turn it into a Lightning female that let me slap this on and pull HDMI out, and they would have crushed it. And yet they skipped it. They absolutely skipped it. And that is just silly of them. So fantastic. And thank you, Alicio. First of all, been a minute, fam. I hope all is good with you. And yeah. So the top picture, Insta360 Link with the built-in tracking. And I just think it's an incredible camera. I saw my favorite Canadian pop up in the building. What is happening, R2? Good to see you here. Renee Ritchie of Renee Ritchie fame in the building. Yes, Avars, it is kind of like mechanical center stage. You need a new line for the case. It's funny. This case, the aperture, my aperture MC cases, I have like 5 of them. They all become something other than the case for the aperture. This is the Nanlink version of the case because the Nanlink became my lights. I got rid of all the aperture stuff. Hey, why'd you do that? Stay over here. When it lost my face just now, it got mad. Anyway, let me get rid of this. So this also, they become great cases for everything other than what they are intended for. Put it back. Put it back first, and then you won't think about where it went later. There you go. We were just talking about this yesterday, and Karen was like, "Did you know it's Fat Bear Week?" And I was like, "Oh God, yes! Everybody in Drop Squad knows because of Gretchen." And so I was showing Karen your book yesterday. She was looking at it. It's pretty cool. All right, Albert says, Black Magic designed the Ultra Ursa Mini Pro 12K camera to smaller cameras. My first camera is EVE10. Any suggestions? Video streaming for best quality. I don't know if I would go that far. I do like studio cameras. There are certain things that you can do with a studio camera that you're not going to be able to do with a regular camera. But I think at some point you got to understand it's never, for right now, the internet can't keep up with your wishes. So going much higher than a 4K camera. I mean, even this stream, I stream in 4K because I want to record in 4K, but YouTube is going to squish it to 1440, which is like 2K. So is it going to be a lot better quality going from a $2,500 camera to a $7,000 camera? Yes, in the recordings and the repurposed quality. But the actual stream itself, probably not. And I don't think it's going to go much better than what we're already seeing right now. Unless Renee tells us that YouTube is going to start doing, 6K or 8K at some point in time. So, yeah. that also being said, uh, depends on which mount you get to. Like the Blackmagic cameras, so far for me, I've always loved them. But one of the things that's silly is that a lot of them have the MFT mounts, and I haven't paid enough attention to know what the mount is on this guy. But the MFT mount on the camera that dope is silly to me. So that's what it was for the BMCC cameras. So yeah. Let's see. Nope, no third party adapter ever came out. And again, that's why it's funny because the Insta360 just ate their bacon for something that they should have done. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why it's funny. I don't know why they didn't do it. They definitely should have done it. It would have been fantastic. Renee, that's hilarious, bro. That's super hilarious. That is super hilarious. All right, so yesterday I was sitting in the house and I want to say this, talk about this real quick. Karen was showing me something in this book that she's reading, and I think the book is called like You Be the Mountain or something of nature. I've heard about this on podcasts a lot recently. Let me see if I got it. No, that's not the name of it. The Mountain Is You. There it is. That's the name of it. It's Brianna West and Stacy Glembowski et al. And others. But I've been hearing about this a lot on various podcasts and things like that. And it's basically talking about like how to get out of the self-sabotage things. And so she ran into a particular section. She says she know that I would like this because I label myself as a critical thinker, right? I think it's one of the important skills that they should teach in school, but they don't. Like I don't know why they don't, but they just don't. They should teach it. And then so one of the things that she reached this particular portion in the book, and it was talking about how your logical lapses are what's causing your anxiety. And I thought that was dope because I'm definitely not an anxious person and I am hyper logical almost to a fault. So just listen to this real quickly as we dive in. Most of the anxiety you experience in life is the result of insufficient critical thinking skills. If you ask people who are anxious, right, they will always tell you that they're like overthinkers. And the book posits something that I think I've always known, but I've never posited this way or never thought about it in this way. People that are anxious are actually underthinkers, not overthinkers. And I like the way the book laid it out. So your anxiety, your hesitation, the things that are freaking you out, you're actually missing part of your reasoning process. Because an anxious person will be like, what if I press this video? No one's going to like it. No one's going to watch it. My quality's not good enough. My camera's not good enough. My mic is not good enough. You're going through all of the things that can go wrong. And so therefore, in what was neoclassically labeled as overthinking is actually underthinking, because you never for once thought, well, what happens if it goes right? What happens if this crappy quality video goes viral? What happens if this crappy quality video gets people to line up with me because they feel like they can start where I'm starting? What if this bad lighting, whatever, becomes part of the joke? You know, and people like it because of that. What if people like it because I am coming off more realistic, more approachable, more what's the word? Like they can see themselves walking in your shoes, right? And so if you are the type to just look at it from what are all the things could go wrong, that anxiety is coming from you reasoning one direction. Not Harry Styles One Direction, but you know what I'm saying? So it's a thing, right? It's a thing. So let's go in a little more. It says the inability to process acutely stressful and ongoing circumstances is basically sort of the clinical definition of someone that's having anxiety, right? So they're tending to think of what are all of the crazy things that can go wrong, right? And it says one of the hallmarks of anxiety is this rapid thinking, right? But you're focusing on some issues so deeply and for so much time that you assume that you're thinking through all of the issue thoroughly and arriving at the most likely conclusion. However, it's exactly the opposite that's happening. If in the process of hyperthinking, like, oh my God, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna be late and there's not nobody's gonna be there and no one's gonna like me and people are gonna laugh at my clothes and it's gonna be crowded and I don't like crowded places and oh, what do people smoke? I don't like the way smoke, blah, blah. You're just going down this list like really, really quickly thinking of all of the things that could go wrong. And to some people, as far as like how they might possibly die from it, that's actual a malfunction in proper reasoning and proper thinking, because proper reasoning and proper thinking is there also might be 50% of the room that likes you and it might be fun and you might meet some new friends or you might meet your soulmate or they're going to have great food, they're going to have great the band is going to be fantastic. It's Tom Buck and the Acrobats. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, the people that are having these anxious thought about their content creation journey, you're not overthinking, you're underthinking. You're not thinking of the possible outcomes that are positive. You're having a broken, like logical thought train. Okay, so in closing, she says, you're experiencing logical lapse. You're jumping to the worst case scenario because you aren't thinking clearly, and then you're engaging your fight or flight response. So, if this is you, number one, grab the audiobook or the physical book for The Mountain Is You by, again, Brianna West. Let me send you the actual link so that you can get a little bit um, more deeper into this conversation. And I know people specifically in our group that do this. I won't mention any names, Aubrey. She's in the Discord right now. She's about to turn on the screen and give me one of these. um, but yeah, Aubrey has an excuse. Maybe the part that allows her to think it all the way through hit the pavement. But for the rest of you, you know, what's up, Oz? What's up, mommy? The rest of you don't have that excuse, right? So maybe she has to work 5, 6, 7x harder to rewire the part that thinks like that because of hitting the pavement at 40 miles an hour. But you don't even have that. You're just freaking yourself out for no reason. So the cool thing about brain wiring is it can be rewired. So if you put yourself into the thought process of, you got this. The reason why the quote unquote power of positive thinking works is because you can help rewire some of the freak out, right? You can just tell yourself at some point in time, you can tell yourself that no, black pepper isn't spicy. So you eat black pepper every day for a couple of days and you deal with the heat. Then you slightly move yourself up to something like a pepperoncini, right? They're only a little bit spicy. They're not that spicy, right? But they'll give you a little bit of a sweat if you're not used to that. Those of us heat eaters, a pepperoncini ain't gonna do nothing to us, right? But you can go from like, a little black pepper thing to a pepperoncini thing, and then maybe up to a banana pepper. And then maybe you can go to like, 2 drops of Tabasco and then later 3 drops of Tabasco and later 4 drops of Tabasco. And then you slowly work your way up. And next thing you know, you're on Hot Ones with Sean eating ghost pepper drip like it's cool without even a single bead of sweat on your forehead. Even we talked about this morning on the flow, your spice tolerance can grow. I definitely know that as I got older, my spice tolerance grew. Right? You can get adopted by a Korean family. That helps out a lot. because dad wasn't adjusting the cooking just for me. So I learned to eat it. Even though June's turning bright red and sweat dripping out of his forehead, we had to eat it because dad was going to kill us if we didn't. Right. So that you would develop your tolerance. So you could also develop your tolerance not to be freaked out about learning new stuff. And like I said, it's a positional thing, right? Instead of saying, this is hard, say, yeah, this is going to be a challenge, but I like learning new stuff. That simple adjustment in your conversation of like, I like learning new stuff completely changes the way that you look at the task that's in front of you. So, it literally just one of those things, right? And I think that many people don't process like that. And so this is why in class, this is the type of thing that I'm always pushing you guys towards, right? I'm always pushing you guys towards thinking about it from the easier perspective, right? And again, just a reminder, not a one of us came out walking. Like the doctor didn't slap you in the ass and you started walking across the delivery room floor. You couldn't walk for months, but you did it by watching other people and then getting your grips, lifting up your big head first, and then rocking back and forth, and then being able to sit up, and then being able to pull yourself up, and then being able to emulate while holding a coffee table, and then eventually you're able to walk. It took you months, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. You also didn't realize that you were going to fail. So in back then, you would take those steps and land right on your diaper, and what gave you the motivation not to take those steps and land on your diaper was learning how to walk when the diaper was full. After the first couple of times you squished the hot and steamy up in you, you didn't like that feeling. You learned to balance better because you knew that falling on a diaper might give you the brown smash. And you weren't about that anymore. You learned to balance better. You know what I'm saying? So there's a thing. And then, of course, Keely's in here with the Wu Tang drip. She says, children are born with more taste buds. By the time you're an adult, you lost 2/3 of them. Gangster, what? Okay, things for me to read today. So I just wanted to drop that on you guys and leave you with a little bit of that. Um, that a lot of times when you considering yourself freaking out and overthinking, you're underthinking it. So just as easier for you to think of all the things that can go wrong, you can also give it 50% of the things that can go right. And me, I just go like basically it's all going to go right. I never think about what's going to go wrong. That's probably also silly, but that's just how I choose to do it. It works out better than the other way. So maybe put yourself to a 50-50 balance. And then once you understand that it's a crapshoot, just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that can help you move along. I had some other thoughts that I'll save for Saturday, and it was having to do with, I think, another thing that's slowing up a whole heap of us. And I'm realizing this the more I talk to us in Saturdays, is that right now for most people, their number one limitation is what they think their personality is, which is the reason why I do not take them tests. And it was super funny that when I was hanging out with Uncle Ray a couple months back, Uncle Ray was like, yes, I've taken them and I wish I hadn't. I would never take those tests again. Those tests ruin your life. All right. So don't take no Enneagrams or Keliograms or Gretchenograms or none of that. Don't be a INTJ, INOJ, INOJ. Boy, you should know that. Don't be none of that. Don't take none of them Myers Briggs or my classmate from elementary school, Tracy Briggs. Don't take none of those tests because all they do is allow you to label yourself something and then do the best you can to fit into that stupid label. It doesn't allow you malleability and flexibility. Those tests make you like this, where you want to be like this. You know what I'm saying? This right here is failure because, and it's like this. There you go. With the slightest bit of pressure, it just snaps over and over again. Right? With this, I'll use a different thing. With this, with the slightest bit of pressure, it bends. You know what I'm saying? So don't take those stupid tests. They have already messed you up because they make you unpliable, unmalleable. Now you're doing everything in your power to be E6, or I don't even know what they are because I ignore them so much because I was smart enough never to take them. when when we had to take them for work, I would literally just go in and just press all the buttons I could press and scribble all the scribble I can scribble and make it as uncoherent as possible. And then they would say, I don't understand. I don't get any questions. Like I couldn't figure this person out. But because there's no right or wrong answer, they couldn't do nothing about it. So I used to just make up stuff. And you just become a walking contradiction, which is better. Because how do we grow as human beings? We contradict. And then we figure out through the contradictions different possibilities, right? If we weren't walking contradictions, I wouldn't have experienced a 15-hour flight last Friday. Because prior to Dayton, Ohio, humans can't fly. If we weren't able to be walking contradictions, I wouldn't be able to have 7 people hanging out in the Discord because the only way to have a conversation is to stand right in front of somebody, not somebody in San Francisco, Arizona, Lafayette, Canada, Texas, Georgia. Because, according to logic, that ain't possible. But it's possible as hell. If you know Keely and she builds you a Discord server. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be a walking contradiction. You want to constantly test those theories. If you don't, you whack. And yes. Oh my God. Thank you. I did not want to start a fight. But like I have been trying to explain to people that to Mars, we go in retrograde. It's not just that Mercury is in retrograde. Venus can be in retrograde, all kinds of planets, but there's no actual retrograde. People are like, no, it is, but it is. And I'm like, nah, fam, because in order for to go backwards, you'd have to stop. Imagine what would happen if a planet just stopped and then started going backwards. Everything would fall off of it. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's just it's basic physics. You can't stop something moving at the speed that it's moving and stop it. I mean, come on, like, right? Just think about that. Okay, let me give you an actual statement. I can't get an actual speed, but it's 170,505 kilometers per hour, or 105,947 miles per hour. So if you have something basically moving 106,000 miles per hour, Mercury, going to stop and go backwards, you can't even run down the street at less than 3 miles an hour and stop, turn around, and go backwards without breaking the freaking ankle. so just think about that. Just think about that. All right. And then Paul says, it's exhausting trying to be someone else. True story. True story. So anyway, I wanted to leave you guys with that. And then we'll dive deeper into some of this adjustments that we might have to make in order to close this year out with the strength that we're trying to close this year out. Yeah, it's kind of an incredible situation. So I just wanted to drop you guys on that. Thank you, Discord Squad, for hanging out today, for rocking out with your doc out. Let me do this real quick. I appreciate all you guys. And yeah, time to get back to work. I got to get the studio back in action. As you can see, I have this squish out today as we're trying to like get everything put back together. And man, we got a lot of unpacking to do. It's kind of crazy. Thank you, Germs, for some good questions, and Sammy for the super chat. Appreciate you guys for coming through. And Todd, this is the comment that wins today. If you press up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, go live, you will get 8K streaming. So I'm gonna have to screenshot that because that is pretty funny. That is it. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Saturday. And this may or may not work because everything is out of whack for the stream. I moved everything over to the studio so that the mini can live in the box. I have to do a rearrange. I might even rebuild the show for the rest of the year. So I might have to go in and create some graphics and stuff today. But it'll be hella interesting. Either way, let's see what happens if I hit you with this.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. Fuck it.